Hello and welcome to your geography class. I'm your geography teacher Sukhdeep Kaur. We are going to start the discussion of question answers given at the back side of the chapter from your book itself. So let's begin today's class with the first question, that is about MCQs. So few MCQs are there, followed by 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark questions, and thereafter we will sum up our today's class. Here is the first question. A landmass bounded by sea on three sides is known as. A landmass bounded means surrounded by three sides from the water itself, that is known as peninsula, and the southern part of India is known as peninsular. The reason is it is surrounded by water from three of the sides: Arabian Sea, Bay of Bengal, beneath lies Indian Ocean. Second question, mountain ranges in the eastern part. So we are talking about eastern part of India, not only northeast, eastern part. We do have 7 sister states over there. So eastern part of India forming its boundary with Myanmar is collectively or are collectively particularly, because we are talking about ranges. So those ranges are to be considered as Purvanchal, one of the extended ranges of Himalayas itself, but to be known as Purvanchal. Next is the western coastal plain strip or the western coastal strip south of Goa. So if it is Goa, we are talking about the southern part of it. So if we were to talk about in between Maharashtra and Goa, so we must have referred to the Konkan one. And now we are talking about the southern part of it. Southern part, so in the southern part there lies 2. So this is the Kannad one, and there lies by the side of Kerala, Malabar coast. So we don't know about which south part, but if ERN is to be added in south part, it becomes southern. So we are talking about extreme southern, then our answer will be Malabar coast. Now we are simply talking about south of Goa. So simply in south of Goa lies which coastal strip? We are talking about Kannad. That is Kannad over here. Next is our question number 4 in the terms of MCQs itself. The highest peak in the eastern Ghats, Mahendragiri. Only one is there, so you can easily learn. Now that was the wrap up of the MCQs part. Beginning with the 1 mark question. So Bhabar over here. Remember the diagram I have shared with you, where from the mountains, when the rivers are trying to enter or they are just about to enter the plains. So there lies the stretch of 18 to 16 kilometers where this region occurs, and this region is occupied by pebbles, granules and small stone pieces, because they were brought down onto the plains, of course before the plain starts, by the rivers itself, as they are fast flowing rivers from the slopes of the mountain. So here is the exact answer that you have to write. So the Bhabar is a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 kilometers in width. We are talking about its width. It is lying parallel to the slopes of the Shivaliks, outer Himalayas foothills. It is characterized. So the basic feature of Bhabar is what is exactly present over here? Pebbles deposited by the rivers, and the streams disappear in this region. And coming ahead is the Tarai region, where these streams suddenly appears or reappears. In this region, they do disappear. Next question, name the 3 major divisions of the Himalayas. So we do have 3 particular ranges: Himadri, Himachal and Shivaliks. They are also known with other terms as well. So Himadri is also known as Great Himalayas or Greater Himalayas. Himachal is known as Lesser Himalayas, and Shivaliks are known as Outer Himalayas, also the foothills of the Himalayas itself. Next question, which plateau lies between Aravalli and Vindhyan? So we are talking about the western part itself. So there does lies the Malwa plateau. So the plateau lying between the Aravalli and the Vindhya ranges is Malwa plateau, also considered as Central Highland. So next is name the island group of India that is having coral region. So only coral region comprising the group of island is Lakshadweep group of islands. So answer is Lakshadweep island itself. Next is in the elaborated form, but the question is of difference. So few differences, let's discuss. First question is asking about the difference between Bhangar and Khadar. Overview, both are the types of alluvial soil comprising alluviums. But what exactly is the difference between both of them, as both of them share a common feature? They are the varieties of alluvial soil itself. Here is the answer. So, the Bhangar is the older alluvium, Khadar is the newer and younger alluvium. Talking about Bhangar again, they are found in the higher parts of the river valley above the floodplain level or the flood level, and they are found in the lower parts of the river valley below the floodplain level or flood levels. They are lesser fertile, they are more fertile. Why? Besides being the same type of soil, Bhangar is less fertile and Khadar is more fertile. The reason is quite simple. As one is the older one, so every old physical feature gets eroded by the time. So time is responsible for the less fertility of the Bhangar soil. Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats differentiation. So their average height is given particularly for the differentiation part. So Western Ghats average height is from 900 to 1600 meters, and for the Eastern Ghats we have the average height of around 600 meters only. Then Western Ghats are present in continuous form and they are in discontinuity and irregular because they do split up, they do dissect at particularly 4 places. And what's the reason for that? Due to the river passage. We do have one more point. So these can be passed through the passes or crossed through the passages that nature is providing us. Likewise, in the Himalayas, the passes are to be known as passes itself, the passages that are naturally occurring within the continuity of the mountain range itself, but they are having varied names: Zojila Pass, Rohtang Pass, etc., etc. Over here, the passes names are Thal, Bhor, Pal or Pal. It depends on the general or the local area from wherever these words have originated. So howsoever they are spelled, you can spell it likewise. Talking about the Eastern Ghats, so they are dissected by the rivers flowing into the Bay of Bengal, but prominently 4 rivers are there: Godavari, Mahanadi, Krishna and Kaveri itself. Our next one is the long question or 3 or 4 marks question. Which are the major physiographic divisions of India? And we have to give the contrast of the relief of the Himalayan region with that of the peninsular plateau. So we have to give the names and we have to give the contrast as well. Contrast, not exactly opposites itself, but relative to that only. So first of all, major physiographic divisions: Himalayan mountains, northern plains, peninsular plateau, islands, coastal plains and Indian desert. 6 physiographic features. Now talking about the contrast between the Himalayan region and plateau region. So this is here. Himalayan region is young and unstable region, although the peninsular plateau is the ancient, we can consider the physiographic region of India, so we can use the term old and stable landmass. Himalayan do comprises high peaks. They don't have high peaks, they do have rounded hills, because this comprises mountains and this comprises either the flatlands. So flatland don't have any kind of peaks, they are rounded or the flat one, and they do form deep valleys. Over here, shallow valleys or broad valleys itself. They contain glaciers and they contain minerals. Although minerals are found in the mountain itself, but in terms of glaciers, only Himalayan mountains comprises glaciers, and peninsular plateau, if you talk about just the plateau term, so plateaus are to be considered as the storehouse of minerals itself. So contrast is although the difference itself, but just for the confusing part, teacher can use such kind of words. Then give an account. Account means we have to provide the information related to the northern plains of India. So they are flood plains, fertile plains, good for agriculture, good for industrialization, for the establishment of more and more constructions, and of course for the residential part of the population itself. People do live in plains. And as compared to the other physiographic region of the India, people prefer more to live in the plains because the things are, or the circumstances, conditions are more survivable. So the northern plains are formed by the alluvial deposits of the Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. So three major important rivers of India, that too flows in northern part of India, responsible for the formation of northern plains. Spanning, they are extended over, stretched over 7 lakh square kilometer, about 2400 kilometer, as the length of Ganga is around, approximately is always mentioned, so it is approximately around 2500 kilometers of length, and 240 to 320 kilometer is the width of these northern plains. So these comes in one of the important features itself from my part actually. And if you are able to discover more points from the book, you are most welcome to do that. It will help you only. So these plains are agriculturally productive due to rich soil, fertile soil, adequate, sufficient amount of water supply or availability of sufficient amount of water, along with the favorable climate. So these points can be considered collectively for the northern plains itself and for the agricultural productivity itself. Few more points related to this question. Based on the relief, they are further divided into Bhabar, Turai, Bhangar and Khadar. Although I have already explained you leaving the Turai, so let's read them once again. These are the same that I have taught you during the discussion of the chapter. So Bhabar comprises pebble-strewn narrow belt at the foothills. These are wetlands, swampy, marshy region lying south of the Bhabar. These comprises older alluvium with the terrace-like features. This is the newer alluvium, comprises fertile alluvium, and they are abundantly found in the floodplains. They do lie in the northern plains itself. And this is although the last question, but divided into three parts itself. So what we have to give, we have to write short notes about these three of the topics. So in total, we have to give the characteristics of features or significance of all these other two features as well, along with the Indian desert. So along with the climate, vegetation, whatever features we do have with us within our book, we can write them and we should learn them as well. So, Indian desert lies to the western margins of the Aravalli Hills. It is characterized by sandy plains, sand dunes, then low rainfall occurs in this region almost by 150 millimeter only. Vegetation cover is sparse. Sparse means very less and that too scattered. The Luni River is the only river, that too is a seasonal river that provides water only in rainy season. Similarly, we have to give the features for Central Highlands. So let's do that also. The Central Highlands are part of the peninsular plateau lying to the north of the Narmada River that is originating from the Vindhya and Satpura ranges. They include the Malwa Plateau. So Malwa Plateau also to be considered as Central Highland, but if we go to the elaborated concern, so this is the part of Central Highland because other part is of the other plateau, that is Chota Nagpur Plateau. So both of them comprisingly form this term Central Highlands, bordered by the Aravallis in the northwest part of this particular highland area. Slope from southwest to northeast. This plateau region is having a slope from southwest to northeast region. Rivers that flows in this particular region are Chambal, Betwa. Son is also there, but hereby we are just answering in two only. Lastly, we do have the island groups of India. So we can pick either Lakshadweep or Andaman, and here we have taken both of them, and although I have just suggested you, you can take either of them also. So India has two main island groups because it is not asking about the particular group only. So we are talking about both of them. Lakshadweep Islands, that is having its feature as Coral Islands are there. It is small in area. Its administrative headquarters lies at Kavarati, that is the capital of Lakshadweep. Also talking about Andaman Nicobar, they are more larger and more in count. Numerous means count. Believed to be a part of submarine mountains and full with rich biodiversity. Also comprises one active volcano. So that is all about our exercise part. I hope question answers are quite clear to you. So please learn them. And soon in the upcoming class, we will discuss inside the chapter question as well. So I'm giving you as much as I can for your academic purpose. So see you soon in the next class. Now, rest lies onto your shoulders whether you are going to put some efforts on your own or not so. Still, I would suggest and forcefully suggest that you should do that. See you soon.